this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So we are here for another one of our mass making sessions. We are up to week number 158, would you believe? So, yep, we are doing reruns. For those people who don't watch my channel, we are doing reruns. So we are rerunning week number 58. So it's week number 158, rerunning week number 58. So what we are making today, we are making the DeeDee Farago junk mail pockets. So if you're wanting to craft along, what you're going to need is a bunch of junk mail envelopes. So yep, I've got a couple of different sizes. I've got these kind of A5 type envelopes, and then the more, you know, the more conventional kind of size ones. I have to say, I did actually struggle to find envelopes because, or junk mail envelopes, because I actually am mainly paperless now, so I don't necessarily get so many envelopes coming through. And some of them are coloured or, you know, printed and things. So yeah, kind of finding some just white ones was not as easy as I thought. But yes, what you're going to need some junk mail envelopes. You are going to need some scissors. You're going to need some glue, maybe a glue spreader if you like to kind of glue your stuff out. I've brought along a bunch of decorative papers. Mine are digitals. That's again, obviously, just because that's what I have got most of these days. Obviously, you know, you can bring along anything you like. You could easily use, you know, book pages, sheet music, you know, anything that you like to cover your envelopes. So yeah, just kind of bring along whatever you fancy covering with. I think that's kind of it really, what you need for the actual making of the pockets. And then of course you may want to get some things to actually decorate your pockets with. So shall we get cracking and you know, have a look at how we make some of these. So I'm going to put these to one side and we'll just pull one in to start with. Now these are pretty tatty, it's got to be said, and probably you would do better if you've got them that are a little bit less tatty than mine, but you know, I'm going to kind of try and go for it anyway. So yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this down, not really in half, it's just a bit more than half, if you see what I mean. So the bit I have left that I'm not using is this section. So I will keep that because we can make some other things with that another time. But for the moment, you're going to want your kind of plainer half like this. Now, as you can see, I've torn my envelope. So I've now lost the ability to kind of glue that back together. So what I'm going to have to do is just fold it down slightly more, like that, so I can actually fold that down and make my pocket again, if that makes sense. So just folding that over like that. Now I'm going to get rid of this bit of bulk in here, because otherwise I'm not really going to have a very, you know, neat and tidy fold. So I'll just get rid of that so I don't have too much folding going on, or too much bulk going on. And then I'm just going to cut this in just slightly, again for the same reason, just so as I get rid of some of that bulk from the edge, like that. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. Oh, my yeah, my phone. I'm kind of part of a group and they're messaging through, so I'm just kind of keeping my eye on it. But yeah, I don't think I need to be responding or anything. Right. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to glue this section here down. So take my wet glue and just going to glue that down here like that. Okay. Now I've got a wipe to help press that down, but you know, you don't have to have a wipe, obviously. I'm just going to trim this in because I didn't make a very good job of my, you know, my straight edge. Not a straight edge really at all. So all I'm going to do now is, this is my pocket here in this side. So I'm going to cover this now with some decorative paper. So I'm just going to take this paper here. This is from my bird chase papers. They're quite new in my shop. And yeah, I thought they'd be really pretty for this, to be honest. So, but I have, you know, I have got a whole bunch of different papers to use. So like that, okay. So I'm just going to tear that down. I don't mind having the torn edges. I actually think it's rather nice. So then I'm going to just place that again over the pocket like that, and then just fold that over like that. Okay. dokey. Just tear that down. Okay, so that just is going to fit over my pocket, or you know, my envelope, what is going to be my pocket. So just go all around there, filling it in with the glue. I'm just going to concentrate a little bit there because that's going to be where I'm going to be putting my sort of area of interest, if that makes sense. So pop this down like that. Okay. And then I'm just going to take my glue spreader, which is just my store card here. Not store card, but you know, I don't know, points card, loyalty card, that kind of thing. So I've just now spread that out like that. Now all you're going to do is we're going to then snip down roughly in the middle. And again, this is just, you know, just very rough and ready. We're not kind of being too precise here. And then you're just going to fold this back. So you've made a sort of interesting area there on your pocket. Okay? So already that just looks super pretty, doesn't it? I just love how that looks. So I think what I'll do is I think put some more of this paper inside the pocket. So I might just take this area here. Okay. I'm just going to fold that down. Just take that down there. And then, which area do I want? Just seeing what's going to look best poking out from here. Ooh, it's a tough decision, isn't it? Oh, I'm just going to go with the original bit that I'd kind of originally planned to go with. So just want to kind of take that down. Obviously, I just need to make sure that that's going to fit into that pocket or into that envelope. Okay, and that's just going to slot in there like that. So I will need to just take it down slightly more. Okay. Now this is all optional. Obviously, you know, if you have got plain envelopes, for example, these envelopes, if you can see, they've got like that patterned kind of inside, which I'm not that keen on. If these were plain white on the inside, I maybe wouldn't even go to the trouble of lining them. You know, it's just going to depend what your envelopes are like, to be honest, or, you know, what the look is that you're going for. You know, you might not mind having patterned envelopes inside, you know, or perhaps you do. It will just kind of vary how you want to do your pieces. So I'm going to be putting that in there in a minute. But first of all, I just want to show you what I want to do here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cover these little foldy flap bits with some more paper. So all I'm going to do is here, glue this on. And you know, I intentionally didn't glue this in because I thought I'm going to get glue all over this. And now I've left it poked in there anyway, getting glue over there anyway. So what a wally. Okay, so that's now lined up there. Now again, this is my method. Dee Dee now cut hers across there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it here, like that, and then cut it down on the edge, like that. And then hopefully I can then tuck that in with a folded edge. Which just to me, it kind of looks a bit neater because I wouldn't make a very good job of cutting that. So obviously, you know, this is going to depend. If like Dee Dee, you can do a kind of pretty neat job of cutting that along that edge, you don't need to do this step. You know, you could just cut along on this edge. Personally, I know that I would not make a very good job of that. Sorry, I just put my hand on my hot glue. I know that I wouldn't make a very good job of that. So to be honest, why even try? You know, if I know that that's not going to be a good, you know, result for me, I'm just not going to actually try to do that in the first place. So I can just take the little scrap that we've got left of that page and then glue it onto here on the other side. So again, going around here like that. Okay, and I'm just going to get rid of some of this because it's very big at the moment. That's just, you know, extra bulk that we don't need. So that's now pressed onto there, and then all I want to do is obviously tuck that into the envelope like that. Okay, like that. So again, going to pull that out now so that I can add glue onto there, and then I can tuck that in. So let's just go for that. Oops, like that. And then that's all glued down. And obviously now at this point, I can now put this piece into the inside of the envelope. I don't really have to worry too much about how this is glued because obviously this is in the envelope. What I do want to probably focus on is here on the outside edge. So just run some glue on that outside edge like that. And then I can take this and just slide this in. Oops, like that. And you know, if it's a bit fiddly, I can just cut that down. So like that, that will do. And then I can just go along from the back and just cut that in line with that envelope. So, I mean, this is just kind of lazy methods that I'm using here. But, you know, it just saves you kind of having to line that up and mess about trying to poke it into that envelope. It's just easier, I find, to just go back in and just cut it down flush. So, and that's it. That's your pocket with this gorgeous side bit. Aren't they just gorgeous? Do you know, I haven't made these for so long and I'd forgotten about them actually. So I'm really finding these reruns quite helpful because, you know, you do forget about a lot of things, don't you? And these are just a gorgeous pocket, aren't they? So I'm going to put that to one side. We're going to do another rerun through. And then obviously we can, you know, just hopefully relax and have a nice time, you know, and bulk make a few of these. So let's cut this one down. Again, as I did with the last one, I've gone over just over the halfway mark. So it's not probably as much as like cutting off a third. It's more than a third, but it's not quite half. And then I've got the same situation here. This is just because I'm rubbish with, you know, with opening my envelopes. So I'm going to have to take that down slightly again to fold that over. Now, if your envelopes have opened neatly, you don't have to do that. You can obviously just take your original fold and glue that down. It's just because I'm, you know, I'm a messy opener, obviously. So mine are not looking too great. Okay, so just glue this in like that. Okay, with my newly folded line like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to tidy up anywhere where I've got kind of bits hanging out or whatever. I can just tidy that up. So let's take that now. I'm just going to get rid of that scrap of paper I've left over from the last thing. Okay, so I've got here now some paper. This is just some leftover from my autumn blush kit, the project that I have been, you know, working on. We've been doing the altered paper bag folio, which, yeah, thank you so much to everybody who's been watching that. And, you know, I really hope that you've been enjoying it. And thank you so much to everyone who's bought the kit. I hope you're having a lovely time using it. I have to say, it's a really different autumn type of kit, I think, because it's, you know, it's got beautiful different colours in it. So I think they're still quite autumny. I think it's still got a lovely autumny feel, but it's not so much of the kind of rich browns and orange and, you know, greens and things that you would normally get. But I think we've still kind of achieved, hopefully, the autumny feel. So, yeah, thank you so much to everyone who's bought it. And I really hope that you are loving using it. So I'm going to put that down like that. Now, do I want to have it this way or do I want to have it this way? The only reason I'm thinking is because obviously my little flaps are going to fold over. So I'm just wondering whether, am I better off, you know, having less blue showing? But no, I'm going to... yeah, I think go for the blue. Yeah, so I might have it this way around actually. So again, we just take this, obviously glue this down onto the envelope itself. So like that, okay. Okie dokie. And then I'm just going to again focus a little bit more on this side, because that is going to be that side where I cut in and make those little kind of collars, because they look a bit like shirt collars, don't they, that we're doing there. I think they look a bit like shirt collars anyway. So again, spread that glue out like that. Okay, and then we go in to snip our shirt collar bits. So yeah, oh my goodness. So like I said before, it doesn't have to be completely in the middle. It can be, you know, slightly over, or, you know, however that you like. So they could be as big or as small as you want, but that's that one. And then this one here, like that. Okay. So really nice. And then, which way up did I say I was having this? Did I say that way? Can't even remember, and it's 2 seconds ago. So then I'm going to take this section here, I think. Actually, no, maybe this section here to have on the inside. Just check. Oh no, maybe. Oh, I don't know now. I'm actually thinking, oh, I don't know. Actually, I'm going to go for, yeah, I'm going to go for this side. So I now need to refold that. The reason being, actually, because I might use, I was going to say I might use the blue to put over these, but actually there won't be enough blue. So, oh, scrap that. Right, okay, making a bit of a hash of this. Right. Okay, let's go for this section again. So, yeah, go for that original line that I'd folded. Oh dear. This is rapidly deteriorating, isn't it? So, yeah, getting worse as the filming goes by. Got no excuse. I've had my breakfast. Gone back to having smoothies now. So, yeah. Right, mustn't waffle until we've kind of done a couple of reruns, or a couple of run-throughs. Yeah, and then we can obviously relax and have a chat and a catch up. But yeah, must stay focused on the task at hand while we just do the sort of really tutorial-y type bits. Okay, so I can just pop that down on there. Now again, I'm not going to glue that on yet, because I'm going to now do the little collars, which, you know, just like I said on the last one, I just feel like actually I'm likely to get glue onto the, okay, I'm just going to cut that down, onto the, here, the paper underneath. So it's just sort of better for me to glue this down like that without the bit of paper there, which just, I think, could be problematic. So let's just take that down slightly further, because I've mucked that up. So right, okay, so again, put that on that little collar. Oops. Like that, and then fold this, or cut this away, and then just fold this in on itself. I mean, honestly, if you feel that you can, you know, you can make a good job of cutting this, you may much prefer to do that, because it's, you know, it's probably less fiddly. It's just that I just know that I would not make a good job of cutting that. It would look shocking, and, you know, I just know that about myself. And so I think, oh, just steer clear from trying to randomly cut things that are going to look rubbish. So, you know, for me, I think just much better admitting it's going to be diabolical, and yeah, try and actually, you know, make it look decent. So okay, so again, glue this down on the flat. Now obviously, you know, you're probably thinking, oh, these are a little bit faffy. They are a little bit faffy. They're not quite as simple and straightforward as, for instance, last week when we did the Patricia Varimontes book page pockets. You know, I mean, they were just amazingly simple, weren't they? But you know, I think these are worth persevering with. I'm probably making them look a lot worse than they actually are. But yeah, I think you get a really, really, really nice pocket. So I think they are worth, you know, the little bit of fiddling around, because I think they're, you know, they're a really, really nice pocket. So again, I've got my little flaps tucked in. I'm just going to pull them back out. And at this point, I can obviously trim this down so that I haven't got quite so much to tuck in. It's going to be slightly less cumbersome than to work with. I just mean to work with whilst I'm gluing it. Obviously, once it's glued, you know, you're not really affected by it either way. So that one, just tuck that in there. And then the other one, again, just plenty of glue there. Like that, tuck that in. Okay, like that. Okie dokie. So, looking good. Right. Now what we're going to do is obviously we're just going to pop this into the pocket itself like that. Okay. So I'm just going to snip this very, very slightly on the side, just so as it slides into that envelope slightly better or slightly easier. This is not even fitting, you know, the whole envelope. It's just going down a little bit, but that's fine. Don't think it needs to be, you know, all the way down to the bottom of the envelope. It's absolutely fine as it is. So again, lots of glue on the outer edge where it's going in. Okay, oops. I was about to put that the wrong way. Because I've actually finished that folio, would you believe? So I don't necessarily want to have autumny theme going on. So I'm just using up some of the leftover papers that I've got. But, you know, trying to hide now the acorns and then I think a bit autumny. So, oops, so that I could use these then on different projects. So, you know, they're quite a nice versatile paper. You know, when you're not having the acorns and things kind of visible, that would work beautifully in any other journal. So, and like I say, this is my autumn blush kit. So yeah, there we go. That's that one. So gorgeous, gorgeous pockets, aren't they? So I've run through obviously a couple of them now. We can probably just now get on and kind of mass make a few. Like I say, I mean, they're a little bit on the fiddly side, so I'm not sure, if I'm truthful, how many I'm actually going to get done. Probably not a lot. Just looking at the time, I think we're nearly 20 minutes. So yeah, let's kind of just see what we can get done. So just put these to one side. All I'm going to do is bring in my envelopes first and cut down my envelopes roughly to size. So that's kind of just a starting point so that we can do assembly line styling, you know. So I've got an envelope here, which is obviously a different type of envelope. So I think what we can do with this one is we can glue this section down. Do I want to do that? Actually, I think what we'll do, we'll fold this up to get where we're going to cut this first. And yeah, just going to cut it down here like that. And then here like that. And then we'll just cut this section off. Oops, like that. So I was just having to quickly just wing it by forming a different type of envelope here to make this one. So that's fine. And then this will fold up here. So I just need to get rid of this one. This little section. But yeah, I haven't really got too many of these envelopes, so we don't have to muck about doing this too much. Right, okay. Okie dokie, and then here. Like that, okay. And then you see what I can do is snip this straight down this edge here. And then we've got basically, you know, what we've got here. So yes, that unfortunately I did have to kind of like make that on the fly. But yeah, I'm going to go back to now just cutting as we were originally. So, right, let's just cut this down here. Okay. And yep, this on here. Okay. Okie dokie, so we're not doing too badly. We've got 4 there. Now, I know that doesn't sound like a lot, and you probably think, oh gosh, what a lightweight she's being. But, well, we'll do 5. I'm just kind of thinking, you know, time-wise, if I'm truthful, I mean, I don't think we're going to probably get through these 5 because they actually, you know, they're not kind of the fastest pockets, you know. So, yeah, I'm probably kind of over-egging it to think that I'm going to do more than 5. Oh, I've caught the... got the window section there instead of, oh, that's weird. Oh no, yeah. Oh, ignore me. I'm just going absolutely crazy for a moment. Right, let's just glue this one down. So yeah, we can just relax now and have an assembly line style session. So yeah, I hope everybody's week has started out well. As you know, if you watch my channel, I film these on a Monday morning. So yeah, it's Monday morning, ready to put them up obviously on the Tuesday for you guys. So yeah, I hope everyone's having a good start to their week. Mine has so far started out okay, but obviously it's very early days, so who knows. So yeah, I mean, obviously the first thing I need to really say is, oh, the sad news about, you know, the lovely Queen. So yeah, I mean, our lovely Queen here, Queen Elizabeth, obviously she died, you know, she passed away on Thursday. And, you know, of course I couldn't now, you know, not kind of say anything about that. So, you know, I mean, it is very sad. But having said that, you know, I kind of said to my daughter when she said, oh, it's really sad. And I said, well, it is sad, but... you know, you've got to bear in mind that, you know, she's an old lady. And, right, I'm just going to go over these. Sorry, I'm just quickly telling you what I'm doing so that, you know, nobody's kind of wondering what I'm doing. I'm going to cover these as I go. And, you know, then we're doing it kind of assembly line style in every step, if you see what I mean. So the next step is I'm going to cover all of them. So, and this is my brown buildings paper. We obviously used this recently to make another sort of folio-y thing from some Amazon packaging. So yeah, obviously if you haven't seen that and you wanted to see that, I think there's a playlist with Amazon packaging kind of ideas. Yeah, anyway, so like I said to my daughter, I mean, it is sad. Yes, of course it's sad, because it's sad when anybody dies. But, you know, I mean, in fairness, she lived to 96. I mean, that's a pretty good age, isn't it? And, you know, she had a good life. She had 4 children, you know, she had a lovely marriage, you know, where she was very kind of happily married with her husband for kind of all that time. You know, so although it is sad because, yes, obviously it's sad when anybody dies, it's not kind of, you know, tragic as in, you know, like I said to my daughter, you know, she was 96, she wasn't 26. I mean, obviously, if she were 26, that would be awful and very, very sad. The fact she's 96, you know, wow, didn't she do fantastically well? She had, you know, a long, full, good life. And, you know, that's incredible, isn't it? You know, that's really, really great. So, yeah, I said that to my daughter. And, you know, I think at first she thought, oh, you know. But then I think she kind of thought about what I said and thought, oh, actually, you know, I can see what you're saying there. So, yeah, I mean, obviously it's sad because it's sad when anybody passes. But, you know, she did have a good life. And my goodness, wasn't she an amazing lady? So, you know, she dedicated her whole life to serving her, you know, as her role as monarch, didn't she? And, you know, I can't remember now what her time of reigning was, but was it 75 years? I think it was 75 years. I mean, an incredible amount of time, wasn't it? And, you know, she never faltered. She never kind of had a scandal. She never, you know, just, yeah, an amazing example really to all of us. So, yeah, it goes to show what you can do when you kind of really set your mind to it. You know, she properly committed her whole being to her role as monarch. And, yeah, I mean, that's admirable to say the least. These are my flea market papers. So yeah, in case you were wondering which papers those were. So I'm just gluing them all on and then I will trim them down in a moment. So yeah, anyway, so, but you know, I mean, obviously very sad for, you know, for her family. It's very sad for obviously, you know, us as a nation, we've lost a great monarch. But that being said, you know, I think, wow, she, you know, she did an incredible job. And you know, she just, yeah, kind of. Right, these are, I think these, I can't remember now, they might be, I can't remember whether they're my pink Parisian. That might be completely wrong. And this is my Amaranthine Loveliness papers. So I think I'm going to use this. These are obviously just while I've been getting the prints right. You know, I have to print multiple times. So that's why I've got things, you know, different things on the back. But yeah, I'm going to go for the Amaranthine Loveliness, I think. So yeah, but you know, I mean, obviously, yes, it's obviously sad for her family. And, you know, it is sad for us to have lost such a great lady. You know, who was so absolutely, you know, selfless, let's be honest, in her way that she was dedicating her entire life. You know, not many people could claim that, could they? So, you know, yeah, she kind of, you know, an example to us all, really, wasn't she? There we go. I mean, she looked very frail, I have to be honest. You know, last week we obviously had our new Prime Minister sort of sworn in, and, you know, the Queen obviously meets with them. And, yeah, I mean, she looked very, very frail at that meeting. So, you know, she obviously, you know, yeah. But, I mean, the fact she still made that meeting, I mean, wow. She didn't look ill, she just looked very frail, and she did have that sort of slight colour, you know, yeah, just slightly sort of odd colour, I suppose, to her, you know, I thought. I mean, I wouldn't have necessarily thought that, you know, before, but once then she died, you know, you kind of then look at those pictures and think, oh, actually, she perhaps did have a sort of deathly sort of colour to her then. But yeah, I mean, hey, who am I to comment? I mean, I'm not a doctor or anything like that, so who knows? But yeah, I mean, it could have even just been my TV set. But yeah, I mean, wow, to even go and, you know, have her meeting with that Prime Minister. I mean, 96, you know, that's amazing, isn't it? Because, I mean, she must have had days where she thought, oh, gosh, you know, just don't feel like doing it today. I don't want to get up. I don't, you know, I don't want to do that. I mean, especially after Philip, sorry, this was my Rose Park papers, especially after Philip died, because obviously they'd had a really long marriage. And, you know, I mean, they were obviously kind of soulmates, weren't they? And, you know, I mean, again, aren't they just so blessed to have had that? I'm just looking through to decide which paper to use for the last one. So I'm going to use this, which is the Maribel papers. Yeah, I mean, she was obviously kind of very blessed to have, you know, met him and fallen in love and, you know, had that long marriage with him. So, you know, even that kind of aspect of her life, I think, well, you know, she was very lucky, wasn't she? And had kind of quite a blessed life herself, but equally she really did dedicate her life to, you know, to her duty, which, wow, that was incredible. But yeah, so, and we are very lucky now because we're going to have a bank holiday next weekend, because her funeral will be taking place then. So the Monday now is going to be a national bank holiday, which is going to be really good. And we obviously now have a new king, so King Charles III. So that's going to take a little bit of getting used to, isn't it? So, and obviously there's all talk about, you know, they're going to have to gradually change currency, change the stamps and all of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it will be strange for a while, but yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. There we go. Okay. Right, so I'm now going to just go back over and cut the papers down. So I might do that stage all in one hit now. And then we'll do all of the cuts and the folds and then all of the gluing and maybe all of the gluing of the inside and, you know, kind of do it like that perhaps. So, yeah. Okay. Oops. Now, trying to think. Oh, went to watch a film called The Forgiven last week with my son. It was with Ralph Fiennes. I think I maybe even mentioned it last week in the mass making sessions. Yeah, it was with Ralph Fiennes. Now, I have to say, I do really like Ralph Fiennes as an actor. I find him very, very, very watchable. He's really got a serious face, hasn't he? And I love his very lovely, yeah, kind of what I think is, you know, a very sexy voice. That's probably just me, but yeah, I really like his voice. So I really do like films with him in. However, he played quite a horrible person, I have to say, in this film. He was not a very nice character at all. So it was set in the Sahara Desert, and I don't want to kind of spoil it for people, but let's just say he wasn't a very nice man. You know, it started out, he wasn't a very nice man. He was on holiday with his wife. He was just dislikable. He was quite arrogant, quite obnoxious, quite rude, just not a, you know, not somebody you would think is a nice person. And then unfortunately, they have an accident where they run somebody over and kill him whilst they're over there. And yeah, the film kind of all is, you know, based from there, basically. But yeah, it was a good film. One of those films that, you know, you kind of like keep thinking about for a few days afterwards. So yeah, it was a good film. There we go. Right. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is go back in and just cut my folds, I think, and fold my folds for all of them. So I'm really trying to do this like very much assembly line style, you know, doing each process at the same time on each one, if that makes sense. So like that. Okay. Now this envelope, personally, I don't actually mind that inside of this envelope. I mean, it's a light grey, but once I distress that, it will look quite browny anyway. So I maybe would just put, you know, paper on the inside. I might not even bother covering those flaps because I actually don't mind them as they are. But yeah, I think that's probably the only envelope that happens to be like that. There we go. Oh, and the other big news. So on Friday, my son bought a new car. So yeah, he had sold his car, his little Mini, a few weeks ago because he had a works van and, you know, yeah, kind of, so, you know, obviously it didn't really seem like he needed a car. Anyway, he does need a car. So, you know, yeah, they're changing the works van and things. So, yeah, he's going to have a car now. Much to his disappointment, I think. So, anyway, so he had been looking at cars for a couple of weeks. So, again, we had that kind of, oh, Mum, come, you know, do you want to look at this car? What do you think to this one? What do you think to this one? I mean, I can remember doing that with my parents, to be honest, as a youngster. So, you know, I think it's kind of payback for me and how much of a nuisance I was to my own parents. But, oh, it's so horrible, isn't it, when you go and look at cars because you don't know, obviously, you know, what they're going to be like, do you? And, you know, you do take a gamble when you buy them and you just have to really hope for the best that you haven't bought a rubbish car. You know, but yeah, anyway, so he was looking. Now, obviously, he's 19. Obviously, he's a young lad. He, you know, he wanted to have a nice car. He's been working for 3 years. He's been saving very hard. He was very lucky because obviously in the lockdown, he was able to still work in for the bulk of it. And, you know, he didn't, obviously, you know, we weren't going out or anything. So he saved quite a bit of money at that point and things. So, you know, he was kind of like, oh, what do you think? You know, because this car was quite expensive, you know, for someone of 19. But I said, well, hey, if you can't actually enjoy yourself when you're, you know, 19 and actually just spend your money and, you know, have something reckless when you're 19, when can you? Because, you know, oh, once you get a mortgage and things like that, you definitely can't be reckless then. So, yeah, he was like, oh, yeah, you know, perhaps you're right. So he bought an Audi TT. Yeah, I know. I mean, it even sounds sporty, doesn't it? So he bought an Audi TT. It's quite an old one. You know, I mean, obviously it's quite an old one. Like I say, I mean, it was quite a lot of money, obviously, you know, for a young lad. But yeah, I mean, it is, you know, it's not a new one or anything like that. It's quite old. But it's such a lovely car. Now, it had only done 56,000 miles, I think it was. So it's an 07 plate. So that means it's 2007. And had only done 56,000 miles, which that's amazing, isn't it? You know, because I think 57, I mean, they say 10 or 12,000 miles a year. So, I mean, you know, that's way under the, you know, the average kind of expected mileage, isn't it, for a car that age? So, yeah, really, 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 really lucky. And it was a long way from home. It took us about 2 hours to get there. So, yeah, I obviously went. And, you know, yeah, it was a long way. So I couldn't help but think, oh, gosh, I hope he buys it because, you know, I don't want to have to be looking around for more cars, you know. Anyway, luckily he did buy it. As soon as we pulled up, you could just see that the car was really, really, really well looked after. And yeah, I mean, they had obviously, you know, again, I'm going to, I think, leave these brown because I actually, again, quite like that. So yeah, I'm going to leave those ones brown. Yeah, as soon as we pulled up, you know, you could see that the car was beautiful. It had been really looked after. I mean, obviously it's got alloy wheels. They didn't have a single mark on them. You know, it just looked like a brand new car. And, you know, when you opened the door, the interior was absolutely immaculate. So, yeah, absolutely lovely. And, yeah, I mean, we were only there about 10 minutes, to be honest. He obviously took it for a drive with the man, you know, the man who was selling it. But, you know, 10 minutes was kind of all you needed. We didn't even lift the bonnet because, hey, let's face it, what would we be looking for? We wouldn't know anyway. You know, so, yeah, that was kind of all that we needed to see. And then we had obviously that whole long 2 hour drive back. So my daughter was obviously in the car with me. And, oh, gosh, I have to say he did drive like a bit of an idiot on the way back. And I thought, oh, my goodness. I hope that he hasn't made a mistake by buying that car because, I mean, obviously it's pretty fast. Yeah, I said I was going to leave that, didn't I? It's pretty fast. So, yeah, I mean, I hope that he is going to drive sensibly and not like a div, you know, but, oh, you know what it's like. Youngsters, they're just stupid, aren't they? But anyway, I'm glad he's got, you know, a lovely car. And, I mean, he kept on just saying to me, oh, gosh, Mum, I think it's too good for me. You know, I don't feel like, you know, I kind of not don't deserve it, but, you know, he just, yeah, he felt like it was too good a car for him. And I said, well, you know, you work hard, you've worked for a long time now, you know, it's lovely to treat yourself. So, you know, I think he's feeling like, oh gosh, I hope I'm going to look after it well enough. But, you know, I mean, he will, won't he? So, well, I mean, hopefully he will. But yeah, I mean, obviously it's none of my business, is it, if he doesn't? But, you know, I mean, hopefully he will look after it. But yeah, so that was kind of our big news of the weekend, was obviously going to look for a car for him. So that was very, very exciting. And yeah, he's obviously very, very excited, you know, to have got his new car. So yeah, it's very cool for him, really. Oops, there we go. Okay. So, yeah, very excited for him. I mean, there's nothing like, you know, when you're young and you do get your first kind of car and things. I mean, obviously this isn't his first car, but, you know, his first, what he would call his first nice car, you know, because obviously his other one, like I say, you know, it was just kind of his starter car. And, you know, it was lovely when we bought it. It was lovely. But, I mean, it was quite old. And by the end, it had quite a lot of things obviously needed doing, you know, so yeah, it kind of like deteriorated. I mean, probably his fault. He probably didn't really maintain it. Hopefully he will do this one. But, you know, it was just one of those kinds of things, really, that, you know, it kind of got him through. It was his first car, but yeah, it by the time he got rid of it, you know, it was in need of quite a bit of things doing. So, you know, he feels, yeah, pretty chuffed with this one. So yes, that's been very exciting for us. And then, of course, you know, we've been going out a bit in it over the weekend and things. So, yeah, he's very, very excited. But like I say, I mean, I just pray to goodness that he does not drive like a lunatic now. So the good news is he is now trying to sell his motorbike. So, yep. If you watch my channel, you may recall that I mentioned several weeks ago, well, it must have been quite a while ago now, to be honest, he turned up with a motorbike. I was mortified, absolutely mortified. But, you know, he just needed to get it out of his system. He did say when he bought it, he was only keeping it for the summer. So, of course, now the summer's been and gone, he's kind of looking to get rid of that now. So, yeah, hopefully, you know, he will hopefully sell that soon. So, yeah, we shall see. But anyway, so, yeah, that was kind of the big news in our household was, you know, the big excitement was looking for a car for him. What else? What else? Oh, my daughter had her first day back at school. So, yeah, that was all good. She's happy to be back, seeing her friends and what have you. So, that's all good. I'm trying to think what else. Unfortunately, the weather's turned very autumnal already. And, you know, we're only just that second kind of, you know, gone back to school. So, I hope it doesn't mean that we're going to be in for a, you know, hideously cold winter. Because, obviously, you know, everyone's trying to not spend a lot on their energy bills. So, yeah, I hope that we're not going to be in for an expensive winter, but we shall see. And there we go. Okay, right. Okay, right, let's put this in. And of course, then this week we are going to be renting our house out, you know, at the end of this week. So, yeah, it's, yeah, come round very fast, unfortunately, in the end. So, yes, I'm going to be obviously working, you know, a lot today and tomorrow. Hopefully just doing back-to-back videos, like, all day long, you know, whilst my daughter's at school. And then probably from after tomorrow, I will have to just spend the whole of really... In fact, no, not even tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to be able to do back-to-back videos tomorrow either, because actually they're coming on Thursday. And I said to my son, the thing is, I'm one of those people that, you know, I like to then know it's done. So I want to really have it done by Wednesday, so that, you know, even if we end up going and staying with my mum and dad a night early, it's done then, and I can stop worrying. Because otherwise I'm just one of those people that will be panicking and worrying constantly. Oh, am I going to get it done in time? So, yeah, I think we're going to have to, yeah, vacate a night early. So, much to my parents' dismay, I'm sure. But, yeah, that's going to be the big chore for this week. Is obviously moving out again of our house while we rent it out for the weekend. So, like I say, they're coming on Thursday. They're coming until Monday, which, like I say, is now actually a bank holiday. So, I mean, hopefully that's kind of going to be quite a handy thing, because obviously we'll have then the whole of the weekend, you know, well, not the whole of the weekend, the whole of the bank holiday Monday, sorry, you know, to tidy up and, you know, clean up and things. I mean, hopefully it won't be too much cleaning required, but, you know, obviously you never can tell. So, yeah, we shall see, but, yeah, I mean, hopefully it won't be too bad, but... Anyway, so that's that. Yeah, so, yeah, just be kind of busy for the next couple of days, but it's all fine, so there we go. I mean, honestly, even the garden's a mess, to be honest, so, yeah, I do need to get out and do some tidying and cleaning, really. Right. Okay. Okie dokie. Plenty of glue on there. Okay. So, yeah, I'll have to pack up some bits and pieces, because when I go to my mum's, you know, I will take a few craft things with me, but I'm hoping that it will be an opportunity to get onto my laptop for a few days, but we'll see. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, we shall see how it pans out. I don't know what the weather's going to be for the weekend. I haven't seen the forecast at all, but I mean, I hope it's going to be nice, because, you know, this event, it's the Goodwood Revival, and you know, people spend a lot of money obviously on their tickets. You know, people have spent a lot of money on their accommodation. You know, I think the people who are staying in my house are actually coming from Canada, so I mean, they've obviously spent a lot of money on flights, on accommodation, on their tickets, probably on their outfits, you know, and all of that. So I mean, I just really hope that the weather's nice. I remember several years ago, a friend of mine who I worked with at the time, she was going on the Friday, I think, or the Saturday, I can't remember which. And do you know, the whole weekend, it just absolutely literally chucked it down. Oh, I forgot to do the little collars. Absolutely chucked it down the whole weekend. And what a shame. I mean, luckily for her, you know, she just lived locally. So, you know, I mean, yes, it was a shame because she'd obviously bought a lovely outfit and all of that kind of stuff. But I mean, at least she was just living locally and, you know, kind of, yeah, it wasn't sort of the end of the world. You know, she wasn't having to pay for like accommodation or anything like that. She'd bought her ticket, which, I mean, those tickets are pretty expensive. So that in itself was, you know, a shame enough. She bought her outfit, which obviously that was a shame enough. But thank goodness, I mean, she hadn't at least had to spend out on accommodation and travelling and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, that was the worst year, it's got to be said, the worst year weather-wise that I've known it. You know, for the revival, normally it's, touch wood, it's kind of okay. Last year when I went, I think it was a bit of a mixture, but I think we were quite lucky. We had I think the Friday was quite good, and I was lucky. I went twice last year, didn't I? I went with my sons as well. So trying to actually remember, the weather was okay. I think there was a little bit of sort of dampness in the air on the Sunday. Oh, it might have been raining actually on the Sunday. Yeah, I think it was raining on the Sunday actually, but it didn't kind of ruin it. It was not too bad. I should have done these collars obviously before putting that inside paper in. I just was busy chatting and forgot, but yeah, there we go. And put that one in there, and then this one. Okay, just fold that in there. Okay, looking good. So yeah, quite happy with how that pocket's come out. Now I just need to check the time in a second and just see where we're up to, because it might be that I'll have to save this very last one to do off camera, because we might be now getting into, you know, where we need to start decorating one really. But let's just quickly glue this inside flap down. Okay. Oh, there looks a really good film out, which actually kind of looks like it should be in the revival, because I think it's set in like the 40s. It's called See How They Run. So if you've seen the trailer to it, let me know below. It just looks really a fun film. A bit like a spoofy whodunit, to be honest. And I love films like that. Absolutely love them. So yeah, can't wait to go and see that. So hopefully we're going to see that this week at some point. So hopefully, you know, maybe on Thursday after we've vacated our house. Oh my goodness, I'm up to 49 minutes. Does that say? Oh, I think I'm up to 49 minutes. I thought I'd been waffling a lot, and yeah, I must kind of stop now. Right, okay, so we have done these. Let's quickly decorate one up. Now I'm just looking to see if I've got anything laying around that I could just pull in, because I've got some clusters and things here. So I'm thinking I could just maybe use a cluster. Oh my goodness, doesn't that look gorgeous? I love that. That looks so pretty, doesn't it? Absolutely love how that looks. Right. Just deciding which way to have this round. So yeah, maybe there. Perhaps we'll have it over one flap and under the other, I think. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to stick this flap down like that. Okay. And then I'm just going to pop this whole cluster down. Okay. Like that. Okay. my goodness, how gorgeous does that look? I love it, love it, love it. Now this is a bow that, funnily enough, just also is from the Autumn Blush kit, from the ephemera part. And I know I have got a bow already on that, but hey, you can never have too many bows, can you? So I might just see if I could have that somewhere else as well. Or it might just be too many, one bow too many. Oh, perhaps it is. Oh, I don't know, perhaps down there. Let me just ink around the edge of this. So this was one of those clusters that I did in the, oh gosh, what? I can't remember, but one of the series that I did in the summer anyway. And yeah, doesn't it look gorgeous on there with that horse image? I just absolutely love how that looks. So again, just kind of ink up around those edges a bit. So, and I mean, look at how convenient it is to just have those clusters ready-made, because, you know, within 2 seconds, that pocket's just completely done, which is awesome, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, I could just have something like, oh, I don't know. I mean, that does look cute, but is it really needed? I don't know. I don't know whether anything's really needed on here, to be honest. It looks quite lovely on its own. Or perhaps I'll just have it like that. It just gets it off of my desk, because now I've finished that folio, you know, which I will be doing a flip through of soon. But again, it will just be kind of when I get time to film it. So we shall see. But yeah, thank you so much for watching it, and for anyone who bought the kit, because yeah, I had a really nice time doing that project. So that is that. So as you can see, you've got a pocket in here in the side, and then if you glue this onto the page, I would glue it on 3 sides here. So you would have your side loading pocket there, and then a side loading pocket here. And yeah, that's all there is to them. So let's see the ones that we have done. We have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 altogether. So we just have 1 that we needed to finish off. So I think we did pretty well, because they're, you know, they're a little bit fiddly, aren't they? But yeah, I hope that you like them. And like I say, totally not my idea. It was DeeDee Farago's beautiful pockets that we've been obviously mimicking. And yeah, thank you so much, DeeDee, for the wonderful idea. And thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you all have a fantastic week, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks then. Bye.